What up, YouTube University? Thank you for joining me. So, I wanted to add a disclaimer. This video is essentially me showing you how I may work through a model, a pretty simple model like that, through Onspace and Blender. This is not necessarily a comprehensive breakdown between the two. So, if you're looking for that, this is not that video. At some point, I may get into that. Hopefully, someone else may have broken it down by the time I get to that, because honestly, I don't know why it's not even out there yet. But anyway, for the record, I appreciate you joining me. Um, if you want to look through the video or see how I model, this is essentially for those that are introductory into this space, those that may be wondering, those that are coming up from high school, early college, or whatever, that don't have the skills yet, that want to be in the 3D space. Um, just work with me, bear with me as I continue to grow into this space myself. As far as the YouTube space, communicating and working at the same time is definitely a skill. And this is me attempting to grow myself in that space. So I thank you for joining me and enjoy.
So I wanted to do an experiment, and I took two different types of programs, two different types of architectures in terms of modeling. So over here we have the program Blender, and Blender has been used for a lot of different things, and cool thing is it's free. So imagine that you are building a sculpture, if you will, and let's say that sculpture is somewhat, you start with, in terms of building it, you start with a simple shape, right? And then, kind of like a sphere, or and then you sort of mold it into a shape, right? Think about a shape that you might want to mold it into. And then what you do is think about a human's head, for instance. With a human head, they have nose, mouth, ears, cheek, chin, teeth, all the different features. And so in mesh modeling, you create 3D objects, right? And as you are creating these 3D objects, you're manipulating the mesh, sort of like what I'm doing right now. And so you take all of these different shapes and forms, like right now. This thing, remember, this was a cube at first. Now it has a lot of different forms, which is basically a connection of interconnected points. I'll show you where the points are. So every little dot you see is going to be a point, which are called vertices. And so these vertices form the skeleton of your model. See how that works? Yep, there you go. And so think of it like sort of like a spider web. The vertices are essentially the junctions where the threads meet, and let's see, the edges. I'll click an edge. So these things right here, these are considered your edges. And then you have faces. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, select all these faces. So this is really cool. It gives you the ability to select all those things in an interactive way, if you will. So then, by adding and removing or moving the vertices, you can sort of sculpt your model. You can create intricate details and complex forms It's a bit like digital sculpting, but with infinite possibilities. There are two main types of mesh modeling. There's polygon modeling and subdivision modeling. I'm going to be doing some polygon modeling right now. The polygon modeling technique involves creating and manipulating polygons, which are flat, two-dimensional shapes. I'm going to do a little bit more manipulating here. So I want to select all these guys here. And selection tools allow me to do some pretty incredible things. But you gotta know the secrets. You gotta know the secrets of the trade here, right? Of course, none of this came overnight. You gotta figure it out, right? We gotta figure it out. Figure it out. Okay, so that looks pretty good. And then there's subdivision modeling. This basically involves starting with a simple base, kind of like what I started with the cube at the beginning, and then subdividing it into smaller and smaller polygons, creating smooth organic shapes. Okay, so smooth. You see how this has these faces? You can see each one of these faces creating these hard edges. Subdivision modeling will allow you to smooth that out. And if you know the tricks of the trade, you can smooth it out simply by doing such. But you don't want to lose all your forms that you're trying to create. So sometimes it's best to go in and create a little bit of create a little bit of proportional depth, if you will, or basically get your object back. So I'm going to use a few techniques here to try to get that back. I want to define it a little bit more. So as I bring it back down, you see my form sort of returns back, but I want to soften up those edges. See it? Hard, soft, and I want to make it not too soft. So I got my form back, but it's a lot softer. And I want to get a little bit more softer than it is now. So let's see. Should be able to go with something like this. Alright. And then turn up my segments. And then let's see. Let's go with set an angle, and there you go. See how smooth it is now? So beautiful. Alright, so this is how you create this in Blender. And I prefer this situation for a simple object, right? I mean, look how easy that is, right? It's crazy. So this is where we came from. Right? Most people will probably stop there. Be like, oh, let me just add a simple shade, and clearly that's not it. So I'm going to stop it. That took about 7.5 minutes, but only because I was trying to explain a little bit what's going on. And then so then we have that mesh modeling is essentially pretty versatile. You can use this techniques in various different industries, which include the gaming industry, film and animation industry, definitely product design nowadays, and architecture. In game development, you can create essentially realistic characters and environments along with other things. Film and animation is mainly known for a lot of designing props and sets and special effects, um, that may start out in the digital world and actually uh, be sort of a blueprint to creating these things in the real world. And then product design, visualizing and prototyping new products, um, everything from everything from your everyday mouse, your monitor, um, Legos, your favorite coffee desk, table, your favorite lamp that you use in your office, your favorite laptop that you're using currently right now to view this, possibly, the phone that's in your pocket, or the one you're using to view this video. And then architecture, you can build buildings of all kinds of structure. Um, just giving you so many different versatile things to sort of play with. So then this takes me to uh, another type of modeling, which is pretty fun to play with. So this is considered, over here on the left, the beginnings of parametric modeling. And I like parametric modeling for many different reasons as well. Um, you can plug in numbers and get pretty precise. And when you're done with your modeling here, if you get them to a certain point, these can actually be used for production, manufacturing production, fairly quickly and easily without all the different steps to go through when you're creating things from the mesh modeling approach. So I'm going to try to create the same thing. Looks like I'm going to see how long this process takes compared to mesh modeling. Mesh modeling was probably somewhere around 7.5 minutes. Um, Probably would have been a little quicker if I hadn't tried to bring you guys up to speed with some of this. But I think a model like this probably generally could take me, oh, maybe 4 minutes, if not less than that. So let's see. Parametric modeling. Imagine you're building a Lego, right? And I guess a Lego castle, if you will. So I'm going to start from scratch here. So I want to think about my shapes that I want to. So I want to do a profile. I think I'm going to try a sweep. So each one of these, you have a sweep, you have a revolve, you have an extrusion. So these are my tools that I use. I think I'm going to be able to get away with using a sweep on getting a lot of this figured out. So I'm going to go to my front profile and I'm going to create a sketch, right? So I think I want to try to figure out how to fill that space in the middle. So I'm going to do something like this, right? And let's see, let's do something like this. And what I mean by precision, you can get a tool here called the dimension tool. And you can go in here and add a dimension. Boom. Let's say I want it to be 3.25, right? 3.25 inches long. It's going to apply that. And let's say I want to provide a height. So, which probably is a good thing that I'm doing this now. I think about it. Let's go with 0.45. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, I want to do 0.45. Okay, so then I want to step up out of there. Okay, then I want to jump into my um, profile view to create my angles over here. So I'm going to grab my sketch tool again here. And so I probably won't be as precise with this just because I don't really need to. Let's see, but I'm gonna cut inside of here, and then I'm gonna do this, and let's see, I got my profile figured out, so I could do something like that, and then something like this. Actually, I'll come in here and come out here and do, see, I might want to line these up, so I'll do that, and then I'll line that one up. And then I'll come in, probably I want to go in too far, but something like that. So line that guy up, do that, boom. Oh, you know what? I forgot to start my timer. Let's redo this. Yeah, it's pretty easy to do, right? All right, start over. Okay, now we're back. Just kidding. Just thought I should test you guys. Okay, let's get back to. Let's see. So we're doing parametric modeling, right? So parametric modeling, um, you start with the basic blocks and connect them in different ways to create towers. And so let's see. Let's get my dimensions back. Let's see. 1 point. I think I did 1.75. I'm correct. Yeah, I think I did 1.75. So in any event, let's do this one and do. Yeah, that probably wasn't it, because I did 1.65 here. So this one was probably 3. Yeah, pretty sure that's what it was. Okay, so then I went back to my profile again, and we did this. And so let's think about that. You have a castle, it's going to have towers, it's going to have a wall, and let's see what else. You might have a moat, something like that. And then the cool thing is you can imagine that you can change the size of each one of those blocks that you're building. And so you can do that with a simple slider. I'll show you that when I get to that point. There's sliders in here that allows you to sort of change certain parameters once you get there. Once you get to that certain point. Oh, you know what? I know what I want to do with this. I want to move this up in here, actually. And then I'm going to grab these guys. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. Okay, so these are my constraints. These things are uh, sometimes annoying because you just don't have the freedom as you do in parametric, I'm sorry, mesh modeling as you would. So let's see, let's bring that down. Yeah. So this creates a little constraint, which is okay. I think it's kind of what I want to do. This might help me with some things I'm thinking about. So let's do this. Let's move that. Probably have to grab each point, which is not what I wanted to do. And then this guy can move up. And then we can move this guy. And this guy can come here. Okay, I think that's about right. Yeah, I think I can go with that. Okay, so I intentionally overlap these two shapes based on the two-step process that I'm going to have to perform here. So parametric modeling is like a magical toolbox for designers and engineers. It allows you to create complex models using simple parameters like length, width, height, or angle. These essentially are, parameters that act as the building blocks for your design. And by changing them, you can instantly modify your entire model. Um, okay, so essentially they're like ingredients, or essentially, you have a set of tools that you can use, which kind of act as your recipe for building things. So one of those things would be your ingredients, which is the parameters of your working flow, kind of similar to like flour, sugar, and eggs. And then you have the recipe, the rules of constraint. And I think I mentioned something about constraint early on. So let's go to the top. Let's see what we're doing here. how many sides do I have on this thing? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 6, 2, 4, 6, 8, 8 sides. So we're gonna go with, I guess we'll go with this guy right here. Man, how big do I want to make this? Alright, we're just gonna go with that. Let's see, move that up to like 8. 8 sides, is that right? So I probably should do that, because I'm gonna have to cut. So let me try that, and then I think I can do something. Yeah, let me do this right here. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do that right there. I think that's gonna work out. So I think I'll do that. Feels about right. Okay, I'm gonna have to keep it the same size so that. Actually, you know what? I need to do something with this. So I'm gonna hit a transform on this. Or actually, I'm gonna recreate that. I just thought about something. So I'm not sure why it's doing this, but I should be able to keep this thing fairly dimensional, right? Okay, so if I hit that at a 45-degree angle, 4. Alright, I should be able to rotate one of these guys. Okay, move this guy. Make sure. I don't know why this is moving. I don't need you to do that. Okay, 45 got me here. I think that's about right. That could work. So let's do that at 45-degree angle. And then my next thing to do is to cut. Alright, let me see. Cut. No, wrong one. Sorry. Hey, redo that. Okay, here we go. Let's see, I think I'm going to do that. Keep that one there. Actually, no, let's get that one out of the way. Okay, so we're going to cut off some edges here. As soon as I figure out where my cut tool went. Let's see. Alright, I think we're looking good now. Okay, so we're going to roll that in as my sketch. Okay. Yep, it's in the right profile. So next, what I want to do is I'm going to grab that plane. I don't know if I mentioned planes, but planes are what you use to create your shapes. Imagine that you're in a universe, and each of there's layers within this universe, and your parametric forms flow out of these layers. So depending on what layer you're in, it's kind of like a cake. You have these different layers of cakes. And then that brings me to cake after talking about ingredients and recipe. This 3D model essentially is the cake, right? It can be easily adjusted and modified, and I'll show you some of that after I'm done here. And then, for example, let's say you're designing a chair. You can define parameters like your seat, your height, your backrest. What else? You can also, oh yeah, so if you're thinking about it, if you're tweaking all those different parameters, you can quickly generate countless chair variations and whatnot. And as long as they're within the parameters of your foundation modeling parameters, if you will. Alright, so I'm going to select my path, which is going to be this wonderful looking thing here, and I'm just hoping that it's going to work. Um, I really am hoping that this is going to work because it worked for me last time. Voila, it works for me. So there's that, right? Getting pretty close, right? Now, I didn't do any measurements, just for the sake of example. So, the difference in the size of these things might just be slightly different, but that's okay. And then oh snap, sorry, I'm gonna use a revolve. I went for the sweep again, but I actually need to do a revolve. So I'm gonna revolve that guy, and then I'm gonna merge it all. And one thing I noticed is I did not extend that out far enough. So instead of going all the way back, so this is the very cool nature of parametric modeling. So I can take a step and make it reappear again, actually, like magic. So I don't know why my rollback bar is acting a fool right now. But I'm trying to grab my rollback bar and it just will not let me grab it for some reason. Okay, what is going on? Okay, I'm going to I would, but actually I'm going to try this because my rollback bar is acting quite strange. Not sure why it would not. So instead of doing 7.5, I'm going to try 9.25. I think that'll be enough to get me where I need to go. And sure enough, it did. Okay, so that's 11 minutes. 11 minutes and 30 seconds. And as you know, I'm still not finished. So I have to go in and add some extra elements here to get it looking that much more sweeter. So notice my mesh model has softer curves. So I have in the corners here, I have these big jarring edges here. So I can get rid of those by using another tool called the fillet tool. And so what I would do is simply plug away. I'm going to try something and see if I can speed this up. So if I grab, yeah, I could probably do that later. So let's just do the edges then. So this is the thing. I want to select these edges, but I have to go around each and every one of these edges and select them locally, which is ridiculous. I don't know if there's a shortcut to get them all selected at one time. I have not found that. If anybody knows, let your boy know, if you will, because I have no idea. But this is a slow, grueling process, and I wish it just was faster. So I'm selecting all these and hoping that it's going to do what I'm thinking it should do. If it doesn't, then I will have wasted my time doing this. So let's see here. Let's go and check this distance. Of course, it's already trying to apply. So it's actually not doing what I thought it would do, but that's okay because I'm going to need to do this anyways. So I think that actually is pretty good. I'm going to stick with that little radius because essentially what's happening is this edge is being created. Okay, that really tiny edge, and I'm going to just go with that for now. Okay, so and then the next thing I want to do is try to get this more dramatic edge figured out. So let's go ahead and pull that in so I can see how that works. Yeah, so that is actually looking pretty good. So I'm gonna go with that number. That looks like it's close to 2 inches. So let's just 2-inch that in. Okay, so we're going to get the 2 inches on all of these. And again, I have to select every one of these edges. Yeah, because fortunately, we don't have, I'm assuming, this is sort of like a modifier, but it's not a modifier from a universal standpoint, or um, it doesn't apply it all at once, if you will. You have to go in and select the elements of your model that you want to apply this to, which, there's an advantage in that. But with this specific model that I'm creating, it's essentially a disadvantage. So, there's that. And then there's also this. I hadn't gotten to the point to where I have figured that part out. I think I know what to do, but it's just a lot more extra work. I'll probably have to fundamentally change that in my sketch model, add some radiuses on my sketch model, if you will. I don't know why this is getting moved over so much, and it's kind of annoying. I think I missed one. Yeah. Okay. So look at this. This is crazy, man. Like 2 clicks, and I should have had all the edges that I needed selected, but instead I have to go around the entire thing, right? I'm sure if someone knows the shortcut, man, that would be awesome. Okay, so I got them all selected, and here you are. Oh, looks like I missed one. So, great. Surprise? No, not really. Okay, so get back over here, please. There you go. Okay. Let's see. I think I got them all. Okay. Let me see. Maybe there's something here. I don't really want to do variable. I don't really want to do partial. Allow all edges to overflow. Edges to keep. Yeah. Don't really know what that's doing. It looks like they added some stuff that I haven't really played with. But so this is it here. Control, you can control the conic, control the curvature, which don't need to do that. And then there's this full round. So this allows me to select, my faces. Let's see here. First side, select the first side face and second side face, and more faces to round. Which is, I haven't really messed with this part yet, which is quite interesting. I don't really understand what's happening here. And then first round, it's just like, really, what do you want me to do? But anyhow, this is what I was going after. But as you can see, we're at 17 minutes, and it's like, well, actually, it's not what I'm trying to do, right? So I don't want that. So I'm going to delete it. And I could probably keep that. I'm going to see. Let's see, my rollback is starting to work now. So what I can do is try to influence this guy. And this might actually help. So 18 minutes. You guys are going to see me do some problem solving. So we're going to do that, right? We're going to run this in like, oh, look, perfect. Yeah, we'll just do that. Although, is it that defined though? I didn't think it was that defined. I think it's closer to this. Okay, let's do that. And then we'll apply that across the board. Wait. Yes. Okay. Click. Okay, now we need another one. Click. And then what are we doing? See that? See this? It's ridiculous. There's no way I changed that. But see, that's just, it thinks that I wanted to hover over into that, which I did not want to do that. See how this box is here? I don't want that there. And you just gotta pay attention to where your cursor is, because if it gets in there, it's gonna mess things up. So, all right. So we're going to essentially add some soft radiuses to our um, drawing, and then we're going to jump back in here into the sweep. We're going to have to edit it because there's some more elements that we need to attach here into our dialogue. Essentially, whoa, what is it doing? Okay, here we go. Yeah, essentially all of the things that are not red in the sketch need to be selected because they are new elements that were not selected on your prior uh, activity chart. So here we go. So this did exactly what I was assuming what was going to happen. So if I had taken that approach, I probably would have gotten there faster. But again, sometimes it's trial and error. You were hoping that some things would work, but it didn't work. And so this is the, what you'd say, this is the discovery part of trying to figure out certain things. All right, so looks like I don't have to go back and do that, so that's awesome. So that's pretty much it. I mean, it's soft, it's nice looking, it looks very similar to what I created over here. And again, two totally different ways of doing things. You can get to the same end goal, but look how much longer this guy took as opposed to this guy. Like, they're both still lovely and beautiful, but you know, this one took a lot longer. So it's good to have the skill of having to be able to be adaptable in your modeling. This can be used in various different ways. This one as well. You know, if I wanted to, you know, the cool thing is the one on the left, it's a solid object. And I'll show you that. So if I go here, I can give you a section view. So here's the top down section view. And then I can move you through all the different elements. It's a solid product. Think about 3D. So if I 3D printed it, this is kind of what you'd get. And then you're done. Okay, so then let's see, let's try a different side. Okay, so and then let's see, we go up. And so here's the side view of that object. All this information is readable information for the type of models, file type that you would want to save it as. And so I have the ability of exporting this out. So it's a part. It's considered a part. So if I want to export it, I can export it as a collada, a parasolid, step, IGS, SolidWorks, Rhino, OBJ, STL, which is an old format. No one is really using those anymore, but they're still pretty extensive. And there you have it. So there's two different ways of modeling a shape. And so for those that don't know, now you know. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you next time. Peace.